Hello brothers and sisters, Cameron here. I hope that your day is going well and it is always good to see you. We're going to talk about the coronavirus a little bit more. The Jehovah's Witnesses keep talking about it and they keep putting information out about it, so I'm going to keep covering it. So the big thing that they're saying is this the sign of the end times? Is the end of the end of the end times, just like I covered in my last video?
So the events unfolding around us are making clearer than ever that we're living in the final part of the last days, undoubtedly the final part of the final part of the last days, shortly before the last day of the last days.
In the JW broadcasting video with Stephen Lett,
He's talking like this.
This is the end of the end of the end of the end times. A short answer, if you're on the fence, if you're a current Jehovah's Witness and you're not sure, the short answer is no. But here's why. We're going to jump into that through the rest of this video. One thing that they keep saying, and they keep misquoting a lot of scriptures, but the main one that they keep pulling from is Matthew chapter 24, when Jesus' disciples are asking Jesus, what are we going to see before Armageddon happens? What are we going to see before the end times? What are the signs going to be? And Jesus talks about pestilences, earthquakes one after another, rumors of wars, like scriptures, if you grew up in Jehovah's Witnesses like I did, that you're very fucking familiar with and have been pounded in your head since you were born and came out the vagina. So, or if you're not a born-in or a convert, you've been hearing it frequently and often. I actually did some research, some articles from Forbes, the United States government, CNBC, Our World in Data. So these are I'll have all those linked in the description below, but Our World in Data was covering, and while natural disasters are a big deal and it's horrible for these things to be happening, global deaths from natural disasters from the 1900s to all the way up until about 2019 have gone down in numbers. They keep saying that they're keeping happening in frequency, earthquakes, all that kind of stuff. They've gone down, so that is a lie. Total deaths have gone down. Well, it is horrible for anyone to die. Watchtower is jumping on the back, misinforming and misleading people and saying that it's happening a lot more and getting worse over time. My favorite article that I found, my phone on Do Not Disturb. Basically what happened was I found a bunch of articles going over natural disasters, global pandemics and the like, and they're going down up until excluding Corona. Corona is the biggest one. I'm currently on quarantine right now, as probably the rest of you are watching this video. And I hope that you're safe and your family's safe. It's a respiratory disease that is attacking people's respiratory systems with people who have weak immune systems. And we don't always know that just by looking at someone. People in their, 20s or 30s they might just get mild flu symptoms or not get it at all. They can still carry it and give it to someone else who an immune system may not be as good. This all goes back to Watchtower manipulation, where they predicted the end of the world in 1914, but changed that verbiage. You can see on JW Facts, I've got another article linked down there below for that, to 1975. Now they're claiming that the 2005 Awake article, I looked at this, I saw the actual article where it was taking from a worldly medical institution, coming up with a hypothetical situation, talking about how a different disease is going to come up every 6 to 11 years. And that's what's happening here with the coronavirus. Now this, I hope, less and less people die from it, and I hope a vaccine comes out for it sooner rather than later. But we're now more prepared than ever as a society and a global community to deal with this kind of thing than ever before, versus in the 1900s when states, they had no preparation for that and they didn't know what was wiping them out. Whereas now we have the ability to deal with that. Actually, they're putting this on God. They're saying Jehovah's doing this as a sign of the end times. In their last JW broadcasting video, I was pretty appalled and pissed off that they're, again, as usual, fucking taking this as an opportunity to use as to jump on people's fears that may not be super educated on how Jehovah's Witnesses operate or think, but an opportunity to recruit people. They're always trying to grow their numbers and convert people, take advantage of people's fears. The world's delicate situation, predatory. And a lot of people who are not familiar with the Jehovah's Witnesses would have no clue, they wouldn't know that. But they're just talking about preaching obedience, and they're turning all the members, rank and file and the higher ranking members, besides the governing body, into simps. And if you're a Jehovah's Witness or you're familiar with the Jehovah's Witnesses, you grew up around that world, you know that they keep preaching obedience and to pay Caesar's things to Caesar. What they actually mean is, when it comes down to it, I remember growing up as a Jehovah's Witness and hearing talks from elders and COs and traveling overseers and traveling over elders talks, circuit assemblies, Jehovah in the end of times, when the world's going to end, God was going to tell us in a very weird way what was going to happen, and we had to be obedient, versus our own understanding as humans, because God can see the greater picture. Well, what their actual meaning of obedience is, you should obey the organization because it's directed by God no matter what. And they've already pushed this into major thoughts of most people, whether that's telling you to kill members of your own household by refusing blood transfusions that could be a life-saving procedure for them, practicing abusive techniques such as disfellowshipping, shunning, excommunication, or publicly shaming someone, which is the same thing as like North Korea. When someone breaks a law or makes a mistake, they get publicly lashed. The thing is announcing someone who's publicly reproved for masturbating. And more abusive techniques such as kicking kids out who may have LGBTQ tendencies, which is absolute bullshit and just downright fucking hateful. Oh, you're gay? Well, I don't condone that behavior. I love you. You can't be who you actually are, and you can't love who you actually love, but I still love you. Thanks, Mom. So it comes down to, it's the same shit. New pandemic, new virus, or a new natural disaster that they're gonna hop on to be like, see, our predictions are coming true. God is really on our side. Well, Mormons are doing the same shit. Seventh-day Adventists are doing the same shit. Islam's doing the same shit. Judaism is doing the same shit. All the big doomsday cults are saying the same shit. Unification Church, all of their doctrine is very similar when you strip it down. One of my favorite things is that they're quoting in the latest broadcast Noah, whether it's a Jehovah's Witness or someone in Christianity, which is also a cult, that's coming from an agnostic atheist viewpoint, quoting Noah's day, that people who didn't listen to them and only those 8 people survived because they listened to God, is preaching genocidal extremism. Preaching, if you don't believe the way that I believe, my God's gonna kill you. And it's just preaching more and more brainwashed loyalty. Hey neighbor, I love you, but if you don't listen to my God's gonna kill your ass. Nah, I'm good, neighbor. Honey, grab the for sale sign, we're moving. So what's actually going on with this virus? It's, like I said, a respiratory disease, and it's attacking people's respiratory systems where they're dying. And that is, honestly, it's really scary. I have friends that work in older folks' homes, and people are passing away, and my heart goes out to anyone who's going through that right now. It's really scary. So that is the bad news. The global pandemic is happening. Everyone's on lockdown right now. It just got pushed back another month with Trump here in the United States saying another month of quarantine. Thankfully, I'm in a position where I'm okay. I'm still getting paid from my regular, day job. But to those that are having a hard time, my heart really goes out to you. It's time to hustle, time to create. It's an opportunity to find yourselves, an opportunity to try that vlog you've never tried before, to speak about your beliefs, or try that hobby you thought that you could do but maybe couldn't because of circumstance. Well, now you have plenty of time to do it. So again, that's the bad news. The good news is, at least here, if you live in the United States, this is on a money and the $2 trillion that the United States just dropped. A lot of people not exactly sure how this works. I'll link a video down below that I watched. Basically what the United States did is they took out $2 trillion, and for everyone who makes less than $99,000 a year, you're gonna get $1,200 in your bank account if you e-filed in 2018 or 2019 through e-file to get direct deposit. For the rest of you, they're just gonna have to try to hunt you down and get you a check, which I feel like that's gonna get a bit sloppy. So that's the good news. You're gonna get an extra $1,200 to play with. If not, mainly you wanna make sure you have the essentials: food on the table, toilet paper, butt wipes to wipe your ass, and a roof over your head with running water and heat to stay, sheltered. But if you have the essentials covered, and let's say you're not single like me, maybe you're married and you have kids, you're gonna get an extra $500 per kid that you have claimed as dependent. The ones who don't qualify are the ones who make over $99,000 a year, or a combined total of over $150,000 a year, then you're getting nothing. If you own a business that's being impacted, they're also getting a certain amount. I'll have links in the description so you can find a little bit more information about that. I'm not an expert on this. I just know the United States, the way they did it was they took out a loan against themselves with little to no interest on it, so that way it doesn't affect the cost of the dollar and it doesn't hit the economy in the same way as if they were just to print more money. If I were to ever go into politics, and I'm not even sure a dude with a camera sitting in a bedroom could do that, because sometimes the Republicans have good things to say, sometimes the libtards have great things to say, and I'm definitely more on the liberal progressive point of view of thinking, but sometimes they have both great things to say, which is my issue with the two-party system. It would be nice if we could just put everything on hold, like pause rent, having to pay for, you know, electricity and bills, like the government really showing its supportive power for the United States people. Yo, live. We're gonna get through this together. It'd be so nice if the United States did that here. This is my narrow viewpoint. I'm just saying it would be really nice. It would show the country that actually gives a shit, besides a $1,200 one-time check. Gas is super cheap. I think I went around, it went down from like almost $4 here in Northern California where I'm at to like $2.50. I filled up my tank for less than $20. It's mind-blowing. I'm hoping like maybe it'll get down to the point where it's like almost $15, but you know, can't have everything. If anyone is attending meetings currently, please reach out to me either through email or Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm actually very active there, and on TikTok. You should follow me on all of them, especially if you want to see some hilarious EXJW memes. Post almost every single day there on both of those platforms, and you can email and DM me on those easier. But if anyone is attending meetings and gets a recording of what the brothers and sisters are saying about that they predicted the whole coronavirus happening from a 2005 Awake article, which is super manipulative because I looked at the article and it's not what it says at all. They're just trying to point at anything desperately and saying that we did it and you should be one of us so that way God doesn't kill you. Please reach out to me if you have any recordings or any firsthand knowledge of what people are saying, what JWs is saying, elders, talks. I want to know, because I would like to talk more about it, especially if you have a recording. That's mainly what I'm looking for. If you can be able to record a talk and then get me a copy, oh my God. I would FaceTime with you. You want to FaceTime with me? That's the way to do it. We're going to do it. Also, I'm almost at 10,000 followers on TikTok. You should follow me there. I talk about a ton of XJW, ex-Mormon, ex-religious memes on there, plus like dating advice and really dark humor. If that's your thing, please come hang out, as long as you're not easily offended, because again, if you are easily offended, that's on you, boo-boo. Keep me posted, and then again, I'm keeping you posted on these bans. The coronavirus has definitely had a huge effect on getting them processed. Got some big updates coming very soon. The ex-Jehovah's Witness Freedom is Worth It bans, which are pretty cool because the price you pay to get out is almost always worth the cost of your freedom. So brothers and sisters, it's always good to see you. You'll be seeing more frequent uploads from me here as this situation keeps going on. And if you have any comments of some stuff, if you've made it this far, you're a real OG of some stuff that you would like to see me talk about, leave a comment down below. And I do go through all the messages, I do read them, and I will see you in the next video. And as always, don't be a piece of shit.